I have one spirit called Elora, and she's from the Dream Makers. And one day I was feeling kind of sad and alone, and she just popped in out of nowhere. I mean, not just the dream. She was popped out. I could touch her and feel her. Now, could you see or touch? That depends on your level of perception or what the Spirit wanted you to see. But she said, because I'm like, how could you step through dream time? We had been visiting there. She said, well, we're lonely. I had lost a grandmother who I was very sad over. She had lost someone. And she said, we need to go to the Dream Makers, Dream City. It's on a parallel world. It's on another dimension. And I had read, as synchronicity goes, I had read one of Dolores's convoluted one at the end where the woman goes into the central sun and merges. It's about the God source. So I thought, oh my God, anything is, well, that's actually another hypnosis that I had, so I'll get back to her. But anyway, I was talking about the dream. The dreamer dreams the dream is in Convoluted Universe 2, when one of her clients, they're fascinating. How many of you have her books? They're absolutely, all of them. Anybody have all of them? Woo-hoo! Who's here for the first time? First, uno, who's here for more than once? Who's been to all of these places? Hallelujah, hallelujah. But anyway, as more of these memories came to me, and as they say, the subconscious mind contains everything. You know, when she puts people at the somnambulist trance, and there's many wonderful ways. Guy Needler, History of God, in deep meditations, went up to the source. And his books are here, and I adore him. Dolores through the somnambulist trance. I went through the dream portals. There's a lot of ways to make that contact. So once I had read about the dreamer dreams a dream, some say that row, row your boat is really true. This is a dream. Back in the 70s, Richard Bach wrote Illusions. All of this could be wrong. But remember that? MGM Pictures. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. So anyway, we did that. I have several, but we don't have the time. Other than Spirit said, why is this such a time to awaken? For the Aquarian awakening, we are in the dawn of the age of Aquarius. And Spirit said, we need the help of the alien brothers, elder brothers. They called them elder brothers and sisters. We need to awaken our own power and come and bless and give love and healing to each other and the planet. And that's when they were like, there's lots of different ways to do it. So after that, I had a couple visits before I had the first real official alien or whatever advanced star being. I had an angel visit at the age of 13 in my first foster home, predicted my future. And I always tell people, reading, I want you to go away feeling empowered, encouraged, psychic reading. Yes, it's nice when you get the bells and whistles and the funny stuff and the names and whatever comes through. Yes, thank you for the prosperity. It pays the bills. But I had a couple of the angel visits. I had one in my second foster home. I used to go back in the yard and, lie down and look at the sky. Remember the weeds? You just lie in the little weeds, pretend you're a bird. And I remember hearing this flapping of birds, just flap, flap, flap. And okay, I'm just dreaming, whatever. And there was the angel right in front of me. And so I'm realizing a lot of us, you are open now. There are different degrees. And you can open the doors. Let the doors be open. We are not alone. You take the word alone and you add an L to it. What do you have? All one. People say God is nowhere. You put a hyphen between the W and the H, God is now here. And in Morning Coffee with God, he said, please don't call me God, call me dog. That's God spelled backwards. My real name is I am that I am, but there's been all these horrible, atrocious things done in my name. So if you would just kindly call me Mr. Divine. So I thought, okay, I will. So after that, my first being that there's no words for her. I had broken up with a girlfriend. I used to spend time at my papaws and mamaws. They had some land. And I would go in the woods and stargaze. He had me a little bench that I'd sit on. And that's when she first showed up to me. She had actually come in a dream. Like I said, a lot of them. And she said, you're not happy because your heart is half open and half closed. And most of you don't know your soul. You haven't made that deep journey. And she said, I'm going to come soon outside of dream time and teach you about soul sharing, soul intimacy, soul merging. She said, you're so alone because you yearn. She said, we are star mates on other dimensions. So I'm sorry, folks, wife, husband, honey, whoever, you got lots of lovers on lots of planes. And then lovers, it's just a word, right? Love has so many faces. So when Rosara came, it was just, you know, it's in the story's in the book, but it was a very powerful activator. She actually went into this long ritual on her world called Astelva, many, many light years away. And she had pink eyes, little pink eyes, and very light, ethereal, like angelic hair. And she actually described this ritual where when a couple wants to share together in their joining, they do this elaborate ritual with the birds and animals because they're a family. They have an elder, a grandfather, grandmother. They have the rose incense, the blessings. But she says what they actually can etherically, because they're more spirit than we are. You know, like light body, spirit body. We're dense, working our way up to the new earth. But she said that's where we are. And she said, imagine the sensation of having all of your chakras open simultaneously. Folks, SEX is the root chakra. Yes, Mae West, some is good, more is better. Well, that's fine too. It has its place. And after she described how they would lift your body, give you energy, and she said millions. On our world, the entire planet participates because we are one. I am a part of all that is. You're a part of me. I'm a part of you. We're all in this together. And then she said, to add a little humor, she says it's far greater than sex and lasts way longer. So I thought, okay. So that was her. And then I had another one. Oh, how many of you talk to trees? Any tree talkers? Woo-hoo. Any tree huggers? Yay, what about all the above? Well, I had a star being called Izira who had come to me. She would come to me because at that point I had enough activations that I was pretty well, could just open that door on the spot. And she had a little ritual where this tree was embracing her. And I thought, what the world? I said, I actually touched her and she flinched. And she said the tree and I were almost in total oneness. She says, on my world, we join at the non-distinction level. And she said, we can do that with all life because all life has consciousness. And again, after reading Dolores Convoluted 3, where she talks about life as plants, animals, other worlds, then I thought, well, if I'm crazy, I'm not alone. And I'm starting to, you know, so that was a very interesting thing. We went on a spirit journey. She talked about manifesting as a matter of knowing and joining. It's not a thinking matter. It's a matter of the heart. And that's why those of us, you can manifest your dreams, whether you want to be a psychic, a healer, an energy, all of the above, because, you know, that's part of it. And thanks to this wonderful Ozark, Doreen Virtue, you know, Sai Baba, he came in a reading this morning. It was just, thank you, Spirit, thank you, Spirit. I went through a period where I had more activations from a shaman, and because I'm opera trained, I have a big mouth, so I might as well live up to it. And I started chanting, and I started getting, I got one group of collective souls. They started coming in as units. Not just one, you know, like even though we're all connected, there's certain vibrational attractions. And they came in and chanted the entire session, and they talked about thyroid imbalance and sinus blocks and cavities and prana and sound healing. That's, I think, my next to the last chapter in the book. And I thought, okay. And then there were many, many more. How many of you have stepped into your past, future, parallel lives? Dolores is doing a wonderful group regression in Sunday in the future where she takes us into the future. I was doing a Nostradamus preview in the 80s when I was teaching Français, bonjour, au revoir, monsieur. And those piercing eyes that came out of that whatever put me in a stupor. I was so, and then all of a sudden I saw this woman, beautiful woman, Beverly Sills, remember Bubbles, singing opera, color way up there, oh good God in heaven. And I got cold chills because she felt so familiar. And I said, who are you? She said, well, of course, I'm Stella Marie Bergman. Stella, that means star. Bergman is Swedish. And I said, well, who are you? She says, well, just like I'd ask a dumb question. She says, well, I'm a future you. And then my friend Janet said, you need to write a letter to your future self. I say at the end of the chapter, I haven't done it yet, but as of yet, I've taken notes. I'm supposed to mail it to the Stockholm, Sweden Opera Archives, and 2063 when email's probably extinct.